How often are you talking, and how often are you taking time to listen? Listen to yourself, listen to others, listen to the world. My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is You Don't Say. I have been starting the journey of chemotherapy, and I, as a neurodivergent person, as an INFJ, which is known as the advocate, somebody that likes to advocate for others, even though they're introverted in nature, some of those matrices of being, they really, whether you're an INFJ or whether you're neurodivergent, they tend to love the truth and find the truth to be a gift, even if it's like a gut punch, like, here's the truth. And I don't understand a lot of social normatives, and, went to all the people I love in my life that I care about, that I'm close to, that I have close relationships with, and told them I don't want to talk to anyone for like 6 months. And some could say I did that because I'm rude, because I'm rude and selfish. We can make whatever assessment out of what other people choose to do. And for me, I seem very, very extroverted, seem like a deeply extroverted person as the advocate and as a neurodivergent that can data dump on people. But I'm a deeply introverted person, and I heal best alone. And I like to isolate if it's time for me to get something going. And this happens to be the last week I'm going to work a day job, and I will be retiring from working for anyone other than Heather Feather, and I'll solely be doing Rare Bird Medicine with the rest of my life. And that transition just happens to be happening for me at the same time that I'm going through chemotherapy. And I don't know what my energy will be, but what I do know is that right now I don't want to share it. And so the most loving thing that I know to do is to give voice to speak to be honest about, to say the thing that may be uncomfortable for others. They are welcome to take it from wherever they are in their perspectives and assessments of what is said to them or who I am. But to say, this is what I want. For the next so many months, I want to just focus on my life. I don't want to, right now, I love you all. I don't want to nurture relationships. I want to nurture getting through chemotherapy and building these classes for the school. And that's kind of where my focus is. And I don't want to have to expend any extra energy. And taking time, Heather Feather I'm 50 years old, taking 6 months of my life to say, I allocate this time as sanctified, holy time for me. And I allocate this time, and I allocate all of my attention, all of my energy, all of my medicine, all of my focus back to myself to serve my wellness, to serve my business, to serve my vision, to serve my creations, is a tremendous medicine to me. And of course, I know lovely humans, and they're super gracious about it. And it's an uncomfortable communication to have nonetheless. Heather Feather does not like to set boundaries. You know what I mean? If you know me, you may know that about me. I'm not like, boundaries aren't real fun for me. I like yes. Yes is one of my favorite words. I like being open. And there's this dawning realization hitting 5 decades deep of how much energy I expend in my devotion to humanity. I serve Creator. That goes by many names. Because I serve Creator, that means I serve all that was created. And as a medicine person, and as a person that is in service to the all, sometimes we need to withdraw. Sometimes we no longer need to say it all. Sometimes it is about the period of rest. Sometimes it is about what you don't say. Sometimes it's about not having to show up. Sometimes it's about not having to have a role to play. It is okay to withdraw the self and recalibrate. There are those people that have constantly been in a relationship, constantly socializing, and they don't abide well in their own alone time. And for those people, if I were going to do a shamanic counseling session with them, I would strongly advise for them to start taking alone time and to secret away alone time, dedicated alone time every single week. And what they'll find is that they'll start to crave it eventually. When you calibrate the self to constant socialization, constant interaction, a lot of times your nervous system is really craving. I think we all need time in the temple, time with the self, time with our own minds. And that doesn't have to be an offense to anyone else, but we do sometimes need to speak up. Now, I could have just withdrawn and not answered anyone's text and not answered. I personally find it impolite to ghost a person or to be non-responsive when someone you love or someone you care about communicates with you. I'm not here to judge it. It's a behavior I don't want to engage in, right? So I don't want to do that, but I also don't want to be responding to communication. I don't want to receive other people's social media. I don't want to have to respond to text messages. I don't want to have to respond to voicemails. If you know neurodivergent people, it's relatively common that they don't like to be on the phone. And I've said that to all the people I love in my life, my whole life. I don't like to be on the phone. I'm never going to call you, Also, might sound rude, but also my truth. And does humanity want a version of a human that is there to appease their ego? Or do they want a version of a person that is there to be authentic and be real? Do you really want to know someone? Or do you want them to appease their ego? Heather asks this question all the time. I say all the time, it is not my job to appease anyone's ego. Not mine, not my own ego, and not anyone else's. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve the will of spirit. And spirit doesn't serve ego. It serves something much more unified than a divisive label-making system that often separates and divides. And not necessarily bad, a part of our matrix, but I'm not here to serve that. And what I'm realizing is for many decades, I actually have served a lot of egos because I have devotedly felt like I must serve. I dutifully need to serve the all. I serve the creator. I serve what the creator created. And I'm part of the all, And it is important to check in with the self. Like, what serves me? It's good to know the self. Does it serve you to be alone? Are you pushing yourself to constantly offer? My life has felt quite terrible through much of it. And serving the all is one of the ways that I knew as a depressive person that my life could feel purposeful. But having done this for decades and been in this frequency for decades and this energy for decades of I am a medicine person, I am in service to the all, I am here to serve humanity, the balance for me is taking time to just not say anything. I don't need to be a medicine right now. I don't need to be a counselor. I don't need to lift anyone's spirits. I am a sacred clown cartwheeling down here through all time. And it's okay for me to withdraw my energy. And beings can have whatever response they want to have to that. But what sanctified greatness, what holiness, what self-nurturing, what self-respect for me to vocalize. These are my needs right now. This is what serves me. And to do it. And it's difficult for me. I notice I fidget. Is this hard for anybody? Do I need to contact it? Is everyone okay? My mother hen wants to take over again and again. And right now my mother hen is for me. It's serving me. It's only serving me. It's sacredly, selfishly serving me. And so for some beings, I would say, it can really serve to have silence more in your day. Many things that humans are saying don't need to be said. Well, many of us are oversharing. Heather Feather has likely overshared with many of you many times. Way too many words. I already know. I data dump all the time. Sorry about that. So it's okay to be quiet. It's okay to have silence. It's okay to withdraw. It's okay to be still. It's okay. It's okay. There's also the things that we need to say, Sometimes the thing we need to say is, I don't want to talk, or I need space, or, Sometimes we would rather keep our ego and someone else's ego comfortable by not saying the thing. But maybe it's time to say whatever you need to say that gives you the grace of your own sacred space so that you can have some alone time to hear you. There's a great medicine in all the things that you don't say. You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube. Amun.